Walking alone, the streets are empty. The only thing I can see is my own silhouette. I'm getting stronger, step by step. The clock is ticking, but there's no time for me. I've been flying from town to town, from London to Taiwan. I've been all around the globe, trying to protect your soul. We are heroes tonight. We will fly above the sky. We are heroes tonight. Yeah. We are heroes tonight. We will fly above the sky. We are heroes tonight.
Yes, people, welcome back to Let's Talk Premier League. We're here for another episode of Transfer Talk. Slightly shorter episode today. Got a couple of things to do later. I'll be going on Liam's channel at 3:45 for Carabao Cup predictions. But before we start, please leave a like on the video. Subscribe to the channel if you are new. Give us a follow on Twitter as well if you're watching on Twitter. And if you are watching on Twitter, come join us on YouTube. Subscribe to the channel with notifications on so you don't miss when we go live. We've got watch alongs for all of the Euros. We do all the Big Four, so-called Big Four content anyway. We're looking to introduce some of the mid-table, maybe lower forms of the Premier League as well. So we've got all sorts of content coming your way. But let's get straight into it. As I said, it is going to be slightly shorter. Today we're talking about Jack Grealish. He wants to move to Manchester City. He wants European football, right? He's not said that clearly, but he does want he wants European football. And I don't think it would be fair for Villa to step in his way. We're also going to be talking about Haaland. Chelsea dealt a big blow of getting Erling Haaland. There's so much about this. So much of it could be not true, could be fake, could be all sorts. But if this release clause isn't true, then Chelsea are in deep trouble here. Also, we're talking United. They're chasing Eduardo Camavinga. As you'll know, Arsenal have been looking at him as well. PSG also looking at him. So two big clubs in Arsenal looking at Camavinga. Will United get him though? And if they do, will they get Declan Rice? They're not getting both. Let's straight away say that. And last but not least, United and Kieran Trippier links have cooled down. Will United still get their man? There's a bit to this that it has really cooled down. There's not much being said around Kieran Trippier. United don't want to pay over 20 million euros. Atletico Madrid want more than 20 million euros. He's still got 2 years left on his contract. United are not in a strong position here. But that's what we're talking about today. As I said, we've got so much to get into. So let's dive straight into it. Just sorting out. So let's start with Jack Grealish, shall we? Let's start with Jack Grealish. Jack Grealish has agreed personal terms with Manchester City for a contract until 2026. Now, Manchester City are working to reach an agreement with Aston Villa. Man City is still on fire to sign Harry Kane from Tottenham as well. So we're looking at over £200 million being spent on transfers this summer by Manchester City. Now, yes, they could just chuck all of that in there. They could just, have all of... They could just spend 200 million quite easily. There's going to be player sales as well, though, and there's obviously Raheem Sterling that's linked. Gabriel Jesus, so many big names for City anyway. Bernardo Silva that look like they could be leaving the Etihad to facilitate these moves for Grealish and Kane. But where does this mean? What does this mean for the Premier League and for the clubs in the Premier League? Well, market's inflated. So if no English club has ever spent £100 million, nobody. If they do that, the market is already massively inflated. We all know that. We're looking at Ben White going to Arsenal for £50 million. Back in the day, that simply would never have happened. Never. Because the big clubs, they had that power over the smaller clubs. It's really difficult. It is really difficult. If City do this, this inflates the prices of everyone in the Premier League. And anyone that wants to try and get a smaller, go to a smaller club to get a player, for example, Brighton can be like, well, you just paid that much for Grealish, so we want 80 million. Prime example, Villa and Everton, pretty much, they're similar, right? So if City pay 100 million for Jack Grealish, and someone says we want, let's say, Calvert-Lewin, Everton can go 100 million. And that is the danger that we've currently got. The danger that we've got in English football is that if this does happen, and if Manchester City do spend £200 million on 2 transfers, and it'll be north of that because we know Tottenham want 150 mil. They're not interested in player swaps. He wants cash, straight cash. None of this messing around. If they do this, this is unprecedented for the Premier League. And it will just take the prices up and up and up. And who can compete with that? Well, Chelsea could compete with that. Manchester United could compete with that if they're competent owners that wanted to win, owners that wanted to invest in their club. There's not many. Arsenal certainly can't. I mean, Liverpool certainly can't. So this is a real danger. And we all knew this day was coming. Financial fair play is being obliterated right now. UEFA keep losing in court over financial fair play. If this happens, this spells danger, and it sinks right down to the it sinks right down to the bottom of the Football League, because then prices in League 2, they'll go up, and all the prices all the way down the league, so they'll just go up because everyone will be like, well, City done this, so you can do this, and it's a real danger. Let's go to some comments. Big up to RJ in the chat. Hope you have a good one. Will do, mate. Liam saying, hi, mate. Can't wait. How are you? Can't wait to do my stream. Going to be good. Yep, should be a laugh. Hi, mate. Messaging from a Smiler Q. Very interesting news indeed today in the transfer window. It is, and I never went on Smiley. Actually, I went to, is it Thorpe Park? Or I think I went Thorpe Park. One or two. It was quite some time ago. Grealish's representatives, though, remain confident he'll get a move to Manchester City as Pep Guardiola looks to secure a deal immediately after Jack Grealish's participation at Euro 2020. Jack Grealish said, we'll have to wait and see if I play at Europe at club level. He said, it's different to what I've been used to. I've never played in Europe before. It's different. I've never played in the Europa League or Champions League. It's a new challenge and I love it. If I perform, it's a matter of showcasing my talents to the world, and that's what I want to do. Jack Grealish is too good for Villa now. And Villa fans, they will come at me and they'll be like, yeah, but we're opening negotiations. You can open as many negotiations as you want. If Manchester City can offer him silverware and Champions League football, fuck knows what you're offering. Because yes, he is a childhood fan. He loves that club. I love Plymouth Argyle. If I was a professional footballer and Plymouth Argyle were mid-table in the Premier League and a club like Manchester City came in for me and offered me Champions League and silverware, and let's be real, more money, I'm going to go to Manchester City. Jack Grealish has spent his entire career at Aston Villa. When Villa went down to a championship and got relegated, he stayed with them to get them back up, and he has secured them up the Football League, up the Premier League. He deserves this chance to leave and go and compete on the biggest stage of them all, which is the Champions League. I mean, obviously the Super League is not happening, which is good, but Champions League is the creme de creme. The Champions League is the biggest cup competition in world football, And Jack Grealish absolutely deserves to be a part of that. Tell me why he shouldn't. You can't. Everyone in the country is calling for Jack Grealish to start for England, yet he plays for the Villa. Now, I'm not dissing Villa here, and I'm not trying to say Villa are shit. What I'm simply saying is that Jack Grealish deserves to play for Manchester City, and he deserves to be in the Champions League and winning titles. He's that good, and you can offer as much as you want. I feel that Jack Grealish will go. Jack Grealish has to go for the sake of his own career as well. His legacy. Yes, he could stay at Villa and it'll be amazing. Oh, he stayed at his boyhood club. He has to move. But that's all on Jack Grealish. Obviously, I think he'll go. I really do. But Chelsea, there's a potential Haaland blow for Chelsea. According to the Express, Manchester United could be about to deal a blow in Chelsea's reported pursuit of Erling Haaland. Now, this isn't just from the Express. This has been widely reported by almost everyone. Everyone knows that Dortmund don't want to sell Sancho and Haaland. They're well aware that they don't want to do that. So how do you deal with that? Well, you sell one of them. Now, we know that Sancho to United is extremely close. Will be finalised probably this week at some point. That's what we're hearing. There's no way Chelsea can get the Haaland deal done before the Sancho deal, right? It's simply just not possible. There's so much money involved and the wages and all of that. So could Chelsea be about to lose out on their pursuit of Erling Haaland? Now, there's two ways of looking at this. If there is that release clause that is widely reported, right? So a lot of people have said there's a release clause, 74 million or whatever, something around that figure. If that release clause is real, then Chelsea are in a strong point, because if they offer over 100 mil, Dortmund are probably going to have to look at that and go, we're going to lose a lot of money if we don't get it. So you've got to look at that. Then the opposite to that, if there is no release clause and his contract is until 2023, they can hold out. They can go, okay, we'll sell him next season. We'll probably get 100, 110 mil, but that's fine because we've still got him for another season. Because to replace Sancho, but still have Haaland there, is easier, obviously, than replacing Sancho and Haaland. A good way of looking at this is if Manchester United had to replace Bruno Fernandes and Paul Pogba, it would be bloody difficult. United would be in deep shit. If Chelsea had to replace, let's not do Chelsea. They've got average players all around the place. Kante or something, it wouldn't actually be difficult. Man City, if they had to replace De Bruyne and Foden, would be really difficult. If Arsenal had to replace any of their players, it would be really difficult. What I'm trying to say is to replace two of your key components of your team, very difficult. But to only have to replace one is a lot easier because you've still got one of your key components still in that thing. It gives you time to look for a replacement. Dortmund know that Haaland will go at some point. Are they prepared to lose him this summer? That could be the difficult thing, because to replace it could be. They only just got into Champions League football this season as well. Only just. And a lot of that is obviously down to Sancho and Haaland, very key components, as I said. Very difficult. Will it happen, though? The report claims that Dortmund are reluctant to sell two of their star players to leave the German side this summer, with Jadon Sancho reportedly set to join Manchester United in the near future. Now, we know, as I said, that's going to be within around this next week, if not after the Euros. I mean, if England get booted out on Tuesday, tomorrow, I can see it getting released on Wednesday, Thursday. Because United will be like, oh, England's out now. Well, I know how we can improve the fan base. We'll just announce Haaland. And all the United fans will be like, yeah. Well, the rest of us want to kill Southgate. Something similar to that. Haaland has been heavily linked to a big money move to Chelsea in the coming months, but that could be in doubt if Sancho, as expected, completes a deal to United. This is race against time. Now, as I say, the Sancho deal is done. Dortmund want to sell him. They're happy to sell him. He's going. United are the only ones in for him. He's off to United. We know that much. Haaland is a different situation. Now, if City get Kane, I'm saying if if City get Kane and Inter don't sell Lukaku, who do Chelsea get? Because there's not many names after that are big enough to fill that spot that you need. What Tuchel and Chelsea want is that elite name. They want that elite striker that will bag them in them goals to help them win the title. Werner ain't doing that. Werner will go on to the left or however. But if they don't get Haaland, they're looking at third, fourth, fifth choices. And just ask Manchester United managers how third, fourth, fifth choices end up. Van Gaal, Moisey, Mourinho all sacked getting their fourth, fifth choices. That's what Tuchel will be getting. Real danger for Chelsea if they don't land Haaland or Kane. They need to get one of them, especially if how much talk there has been out there around Haaland or Kane. Liam saying, just mentioned you in a tweet. Yep, I'm currently doing a show, but I'll have a look at that after. Let's talk Manchester United. Manchester United have officially expressed interest in Eduardo Camavinga. United have Eduardo Camavinga. United have even met his entourage next week to convince him to join Manchester United. But PSG remains a priority of the player. He would remains priority for the player. He would like to stay in France. That's basically he wants to stay in France, right? Very difficult for United to get this deal done, especially if PSG want him. If PSG want him and he wants to stay in France, he's going to PSG. Let's put it simple. Nippin says, let's just hold Dortmund to ransom. How? How are you holding Dortmund to ransom? They don't want to sell two players. There may not even be the release clause next year. So explain to me how you are holding Dortmund ransom. Because right now, it looks the other way. Right now, Dortmund are holding Chelsea ransom, not the other way around. He wants to leave. Who said that? He did, basically. Read between the lines, CC. We'll just quickly touch on the Grealish. We'll have to wait and see if I play in Europe at club level, he said. It's different to what I've been used to. I've never played in Europe before. It's different. I've never played in the Europa League or Champions League. It's a new challenge and I love it. And if I perform, it's a matter of showcasing my talents to the world, and that's what I want to do. He wants to go. He wants Champions League, Europa League football. And unless Aston Villa are breaking into that top six next season, you're not delivering it for him. And that's the difficulty that they have. Unsettle him, unsettle them, give them... How are you unsettling them? How? What? I don't know if you've ever dealt with Dortmund before, Nippin. Just ask Man U fans how it is. Look, Sancho was desperate for a move last year. Desperate for a move. Wanted to join United. United didn't pay what Dortmund wanted. He stayed. He played. Dortmund don't get their players unsettled because the players know they're going. The players know they'll be going. You can't unsettle Dortmund. It's very difficult. Really difficult to unsettle them. And I don't think you can. And look, you can try, but I don't think you understand football transfers because Dortmund don't get unsettled. Dortmund are one of the best negotiators in transfers in the world. They are amazing at what they do. You ain't unsettling Dortmund. I bet you they're in constant contact with Mino Raiola and all of that. What's up now? The best team in Europe. Euros played today. No, they don't. France have looked dog shit. And so have Spain. So have Croatia. And Switzerland have Xhaka. Just give them what they asked for is all I'm trying to say. Well, they're asking for you to fuck off because they don't want to do business. What they're saying, let me put it as bluntly as possible. Dortmund don't want to sell Haaland this summer. They don't want to lose two key components. So what are they asking for? Well, they're asking for Chelsea to leave them alone. That is essentially what they're doing. But if he stays one last season, as we do have a good team if Jack stays. Yeah, but DC, he deserves to play Champions League football. He deserves Champions League. He deserves Europe. He deserves European football. He deserves to win trophies. And look, as I've always said, I'm not here to upset Villa fans. He can't do that at Villa. It is really difficult. A tweet in terms of Camavinga, a tweet from the Muppeteers. The interest in Camavinga stems back far more than a month, by the way. He was on United and many other clubs list last summer. If Pogba left, I just wouldn't get your hopes up about us sorting a midfielder out yet. It's still largely dependent on Pogba, Donny van der Beek. So what they're saying is one of them has got to go before one more comes in. It's the problem with United. It is the problem. If they want 200 million, just give it to them. I don't think you understand football, Nepin. I'm going to put it as bluntly as possible. I don't think you understand football. Just refuse to fuck off. They will just literally keep rejecting it then. It's very simple, I suppose. It's really difficult, but you have got Buendia, and Buendia is a great player. Ollie Watkins, obviously Grealish should be incredible to have, but you'd be fine. You definitely wouldn't get relegated. Let's be clear. If Roman gave them 200 million, maybe, but maybe not. They might just say no. They might. Dortmund don't, and if Dortmund don't want to do something, they don't do it. Like last year, United kept trying to haggle the price down. Dortmund were like, no. I'm pretty sure after they set a deadline, didn't they? And United put one in after a deadline. They were like, deadline's closed. We gave you deadline. You did not meet deadline. Sorry, bud. That's that really. Also, from an inside source regarding Camavinga, he says both Declan Rice and Camavinga will not be coming to Manchester United this summer. Camavinga is seen as a cheaper option worth exploring for now, which is exactly why it no longer depends on Pogba leaving. Lingard would generate funds. Matic could end up leaving if this happens. So what this guy is saying is if it doesn't now depend on Pogba, what he's saying is if a couple of the lesser players, so Lingard or Matic, leave, they free up that wage. They free up a bit of transfer kitty, especially Lingard. You probably get 20, 25 mil for him. Matic, you probably get 5, 10 mil if you're lucky. That's 30, 35 mil. And so you've generated a bit of transfer income. You've also freed up a lot on the wages. Lingard, I think, is about 100k a week. Matic, probably 130, 150, something around that line. So you've got two of these players that would free up quite a lot of money, and you can just do it, can't you? And it is quite interesting. Renell saying, so you think Chelsea would get Haaland? No, not this summer. I think if what we're hearing is true, and if what we're hearing is true, that Dortmund don't want to sell both their players, that they want to only sell one, they want to keep them, then no, I don't think you get Haaland, because Sancho and United is so advanced. I think it would be really difficult for them to for Chelsea to do it. Now, it's really dependent. I keep saying it's dependent on these release clauses. If there's release clause next summer, then Chelsea, yes, can get him if they offer the right amount of money. If there's no release clause, then it's really, really difficult. And that's that really. It's really difficult. It's a really complicated transfer as well. Really complicated. Zachary saying the Dortmund channels I follow have been saying for 2 weeks that they're not getting rid of both. I've heard that as well. It could be possible that they keep Sancho and off Haaland though. Maybe it is taking a while. No, Chelsea, United and Sancho done. It's gonna get done this week, I think. That one is so advanced, and Sancho's got 2 years left. I think might have the same as Haaland. They want to get rid of Sancho first because he He's the one whose price will go right down, and it's really difficult. Nippin says, if we're not in a title race next season, I'm going to blame Dortmund for being pricks. Right. Okay. What? So a team saying no makes them a prick. Do you know what, Nippin? Okay, let's do it this way. Plymouth Argyle just won the lottery, and we tried to buy Mason Mount off you, but you lot keep saying no. Do I then go, Chelsea are pricks, so we didn't win the title? No, we would just move on and try and secure another target. Haaland is not the only striker in the world. Why are you not trying to get Kane? Why are you not trying to get Robert Lewandowski? Why are you not trying to get a different striker that maybe isn't of that profile of Haaland, but could turn into that profile of Haaland? You don't always have to just get Haaland, you know. Be rude. Or maybe blame your shit player. Mad. True, Sancho has more to lose with poor season. It's not even that, mate, because he's cheaper. So because Sancho is around the 80 million mark, his price will go right down, probably to a 50, 40 million if it's last year. Whereas Haaland is a generational talent, so they say. So he is going to cost a lot more, even if he has only got 1 year on his deal. So based on finances and finances alone, it's more cost effective to keep Haaland, sell Sancho, and then sell Haaland next year. What if Haaland throws his toys out of the pram and said, I want to leave? I don't care if you want to keep me. Dortmund, he has a contract, Nippin. There's this beautiful thing called a contract. Now, when a player signs that contract, it contracts them to play for a team for a certain period of time. Don't know if you've ever seen a contract. I haven't seen a contract, but I do know that when you sign a contract, you contract yourself. You sell your labor. So you as a footballer sell your labor to that club for a period of time. So if Haaland has sold his labor, i.e. himself, to Dortmund until the year 2023, that means that even if Dortmund don't want to sell, Erling Haaland has to still be contracted and still play for that club until the end of his release clause. Well, not release clause, the end of his contract. So really difficult to say that. And he wouldn't, I don't think he would. I mean, Sancho wanted to leave last season and go to United. Did he throw his toys out the pram? He did not. He simply got on with it and worked hard and continued to fight and played well towards the end of the season. I would expect the exact same from Erling Haaland. Erling Haaland knows that in the next couple of years, he is going to get a big move. He knows that. He is aware of that. It's in his head. So he's also, I think, 20, 21? Very young. So he also knows that he is not on time-limited things. Whereas the difference with Harry Kane is he's getting a bit older and this really is his last chance. Erling Haaland still has a good 10, 12 years in himself. So he's not on a time sort of limited period. He knows he's getting a big move. He doesn't have to force it through. He knows it's happening. Simple as that. West Ham are selling Anderson for 10 mil. Is he a striker? Lewandowski will not leave Bayern, and Kane will never leave for another London club. He would. Kane would go anywhere where he can win a trophy and win. But he's stated that quite clearly. Also, he was in the Arsenal youth academy as a kid. Still a Tottenham fan, though. So, yeah. Wouldn't move to another London club. I hear that, Nippin. Does Haaland have a release clause? We don't know. A lot of people report and say yes. Some people say no. Nobody knows if Haaland has got a release clause. It's mad. If Grealish goes, we need to buy a creative player. We do have Buendia, but I would like another. That's why you're going for Smith Rowe. It's why Villa are continuing to try and pinch whatever Arsenal want. You want Smith Rowe. You are looking for another creative player. And I think the reason for that is because Grealish is going to go, and you'll get a lot of money for him. Buy him, yeah. If Haaland wants to leave, if I were Dortmund manager, I'd make him. He doesn't want to leave. I've already explained this, Lindsay. He knows that he's getting a big move in the next couple of years. Time is on his side. He's 20, 21. Very young guy with his entire career in front of him. He doesn't need to force a move. He doesn't need to force a move. He's sorting it. He'll be completely calm. Football manager style. Yeah. Yeah, I've done that a couple of times. Would you want Mbappe or Haaland if you were Chelsea? Oh, Haaland. Don't need an Mbappe. Well, Mbappe would be nice, but if I'm Chelsea manager, I'm looking at my team going, we create a lot. We don't take our chances. Haaland takes those chances. So you'd want Haaland. Mbappe, I would say probably Liverpool would quite like him. I'm an Mbappe guy. Rejected again. 30 million. Arsenal really don't want to sell him. Yeah, it's really difficult. It's really difficult. Look, DC, you just got to keep it. Offer 31 million. Just offer one extra million, you'll probably get him. Actually, offer £1. Arsenal did that once. 30 million and £1. Try that. Big up Niall, smashing it as always. Big up to Charlie as well. David Moyes has hired David Moyes Jr. as a scout. Is he actually? That's funny. But it's the smallest move, smartest move to sell him this season to get profit from Haaland. Difficult, really difficult. As I say, I'm going to repeat myself again. It all comes down to, is there a release clause? If there is, great. If there isn't, shit. That's essentially it. All boils down to this release clause. And if anyone has seen Haaland's contract and can send it to me, I'd happily look at it. But until then, it's all just speculation until someone confirms if there's a bloody release clause. That's all I want to know. Mbappe, because he is versatile, he can play along the front three. Thinking Mbappe could play a centre forward for them, Haaland does both of them better as a boring finisher. Yeah. Mbappe because he has. Oh God, is that FIFA? Lanzi, you haven't just quoted FIFA stats of me, have you? I don't like that. Don't like FIFA stats. It's disgraceful. Last bit I want to talk about before I briefly open the lines. In fact, what I'll do is I'll open the lines up now, and I'll just basically, because the next one I talk about actually won't be much because it's basically a deal that's just broken down. United have made no headway in discussions to sign Kieran Trippier with Atletico Madrid, holding out for a higher fee than 20 million euros. United are concentrating on completing a deal for Sancho and a centre-back. So what they're saying is they're going to try and get Sancho. If they can get Sancho, well, they're working on sorting Sancho out. Then they're going to try and get the centre-back. We're thinking Varane or Pau Torres. If they have time after that, then they'll try and get Trippier. I think Ollie's mad because right back wouldn't be my third priority. I mean, I think everyone looks at that team and goes to 3 priorities: centre back, right wing, DM. Not in any particular order, because every United fan feels differently. Some United fans feel that a centre back is top priority with a DM than a right winger. Some feel that a DM is priority. Some feel a right winger is priority first. So it's all very difficult and so much about that. We are joined by Velvishwan though. How we doing, mate?
I'm good.
What do you want to talk about then?
Let's talk about the Haaland blow to Chelsea.
Go for it.
It depends. I don't get with Chelsea. If they're saying Haaland is their number one target, then go for Haaland. If he's not your number one target, then why are you wasting your time? Just go for other targets. Then.
He is number one target. He's number one target. He's number one target for Chelsea. Dortmund just don't want to sell. It's a really difficult one. I bet you've had it on Football Manager if you've ever played Football Manager, where you really want a player and the other team's like, nah, mate, you're not having him, and you're like, fuck you then. And you have to go search for someone else. This is what Chelsea are currently suffering.
Yeah, I don't know what they do. They probably want to don't want to pay like the full 150. They just want to go like, alright, cool, we'll pay you 100.
Mm.
It,
No, I think Chelsea aren't bothered about it. I just don't think Haaland. I don't think Dortmund care really. I don't think with the way they're acting. And look, this now is pure speculation on my part. With the way Dortmund are acting, I don't think there's a release clause. Just with how they're acting, because if there was a release clause, they're turning away double their money. That's just pure speculation on my part. I don't think there's a release clause with the way they're acting.
yeah, because if there's a release clause, then yeah, they'll be selling him this summer.
Yeah.
If there wasn't, then
that's what I mean. As I say, pure speculation on my part, and I don't tend to like speculation, but I don't think there is one. DC says Switzerland is shit.
shut up.
This is true, though. If that means Mbappe comes to Liverpool next season, I'm all for it. I think Liverpool could benefit from an creative midfielder.
We are linked with a creative midfielder, Otavio from Porto.
It's a tough one. It really is a tough one. Can West Ham hurry up and sign Hlosek in Nizu?
And a series.
Jesus Christ, please don't, because I'm planning on doing Premier League watch-alongs next
Krau,
season.
Milinkovic, Savic, and Johnston.
If I'm having to try and name all of them, I'm gonna swing for David Moyes. Good evening, Dylan. If he has release scores, do you think it would get done at 175 million? I couldn't see. Yeah, no, I think if there was a release clause, deal would get done this summer. 150 million pounds straight, slap it on the table, done. Walk away with your player. With the way that it's all going, I just don't think there is one. Velv, talk to me about Grealish, though. That's a big one, and I know DC are a bit upset, and they all get upset when Grealish basically slaps them in the face and walks out. But Grealish, City, probability. What's the percentage of this happening?
75%.
Okay. What do you make of the transfer anyway?
Yeah, I think it's time. Like Grealish needs to go to a top 6 club. It's not going to be in United because they obviously want Sancho. It's not going to be us because we can't afford him. Chelsea, they can, but I don't think it's a priority because they've got Mason Mount. And Tottenham are shit. Actually, why are they even in the top 6 anyway? Arsenal, like, I don't know why they're in. Why Arsenal fans think they're in the race. Like, it's peak when the fans are actually buying Grealish shirts and back of the Arsenal one. It's embarrassing.
Arsenal fans think Grealish is coming to the Emirates?
Yeah, one guy actually bought an Arsenal shirt with Grealish in the back of it.
Wow. No.
Yeah, so
Not
that's...
happening. Got more chance of me shagging. You got more chance of me shagging Mason Greenwood than you have fucking Grealish going to Arsenal.
Yeah, then just City left, and they're the ones that can afford him. And if Pep wants him, then they're like, cool, we'll spend the cash on him.
Lanty said, but Grealish hugs Saka. Could be going there. Imagine if Grealish stayed at City, but convinced Saka to go to Villa.
Bruno Fernandes hugged Klopp, and that doesn't mean anything.
Yeah, hugging means absolutely fucking nothing. What happens to Kane if Grealish signs? They're getting both, apparently. Arsenal basically near new full team and manager. Don't forget the manager, DC. Don't forget the manager. He must be going to the Emirates. He must be if he's hugging Saka. But it's a weird one. I mean, look, Arsenal are dead food. They're a disgrace. A full-blown disgrace. But yeah, talk to me about Edouard Camavinga. United interested in getting Camavinga. Do you see that one happening or materialising?
They could sign him, but don't bring him into United first. Just loan him out, buy him and loan him out. because I don't think he's ready for the Premier League. 18 years old. Yeah, what he did at age 16, 17, 18 is magnificent. But
Yeah.
to come from the French league to this league, I know like loads of good midfielders come from the French league. It's a big step for him. I will just either buy him and loan him out to like Rennes for another few seasons or another team.
It's okay. It's Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, so they'll buy him and he'll go chill with Donny on the bench and play Monopoly.
Yeah, that's the thing. I don't want this kid's talent be wasted. Like,
Yeah, Ollie will sit him on the bench next to Donny and go, "Here's a board game, go play it."
like
Ollie is a full-blown disgrace. I'm done with his shit. He's a disgrace.
If I was Camavinga, I would just stay at Rennes.
Because yeah, I would, or make the move to PSG because you could probably have an 18-year-old in that midfield. It's only fucking PSG. They should, in theory, dominate the leagues, but you know, one of them. I don't know if they could be both, but that's nuts. Going live with now shortly. Make sure you tune in. 100%. Plus Foden and Sterling. Sterling will go. I mean, he won't keep Sterling. Camavinga's ready, according to Mustafa.
He's not.
Wonder if Chelsea have interest in Kane, similar to Haaland. They do. Valve fight me for Mustafa. And Lewis says, Valve, why the Swiss flag?
Because Switzerland will beat France. Mark my words.
I mean, I hope they do. That would be great for us when we smash the Germans. Smash the Germans. But I don't see it. But we are going to wrap it up there, mainly because I've got another stream to jump onto. Don't forget tonight, Croatia versus Spain with me at 4:45 start. And then France versus the Swiss at 4:30. So make sure you tune in for both of them games. Going to be great.
4:30, ain't it 7:30?
7:30, yeah, that's what I meant. So yeah, Croatia, Spain with me. There is space if anyone does want to watch Spain lose to Croatia. And then France versus Switzerland. No, I support France. Game time soon. It is game time soon. But before you go, please leave a like on the video, subscribe to the channel with notifications on. Please leave a like on the videos. I've done that. Check out our socials, Twitter, Let's Talk EPL, Instagram, Let's Talk EPL _ and on TikTok at Let's Talk Premier League. Velvishwan, where can they find you?
Yeah, you can find me on Twitter, Instagram at vel_skills.
Perfect. Until then, thanks for watching, guys, and peace out.